Reload. Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
What's going on? What's happening? What's up? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy new DC Day. Another week, another stack of books to look at, stories to dive into, characters to see if they live or die through this crazy DCKO event. There's multiple tie-ins out this week. Don't worry, they're not going to overload us with tie-ins. There's no 557 installments into an event or anything like that, but there are enough to keep us excited. And some really great news on a couple of titles. It seems like they're worth picking up again. Some titles have come off my pull list. Others are being added to it. There's a lot to talk about, and we're going to get into it right after this. But number one thing on everyone's mind, on my mind, should be on yours as well, is Comics Curing Cancer. It is this week. We've officially made it. The annual 3-day virtual event that happens right here on YouTube across multiple content creators' platforms. Their channels will be running 3 days of fun in the sun inside of ways to raise funds for the American Cancer Society, whether it be traditional auctions, pledge drives, prize wheels. Every content creator involved with this has curated a show during those 3 days to take fantastic, cool comics, collectibles, and art and put them into your hands for donating to the American Cancer Society. That's exactly what it is. You donate, you get an item. And for the most part, they might have like a prize wheel where you donate, get your name on a wheel. But basically, it's 3 days of selling comics, collectibles, and more to raise money for the American Cancer Society. And 100% of the money that comes in goes straight to the American Cancer Society. Not proceeds, not portions of, not wondering, I gave the American Cancer Society $20, but I wonder how much they actually got. They get the whole 20. We don't take any money. We skip the middleman. You give the money to them through our donation portal, and they get all of it. And you get to buy cool comics, collectibles, and more throughout the weekend. So keep in mind that is this weekend. It kicks off right here on Friday morning during my regular live stream, Legion's Lair, but it'll be the C3 edition. So we'll be on there doing, I'll be selling mystery boxes. We'll have comic pools and all kinds of other antics. That's a long live stream. I hang out for hours on end. It'll also be an opportunity for other people that might want to hop on a stream and participate and to hop on and hang out and just enjoy the community and watching it come together to do something like this, because it's honestly incredible. It shouldn't be understated how incredible this event is, and not because of how much money it raises to help the American Cancer Society, but the fact that it's able to raise that money, because this event is a true coming together of the community. This doesn't work with just Rob, DJ, and myself organizing it. It only works with all of us coming together like butt cheeks to attack the ultimate supervillain, which is cancer. And that'll be a good live stream. If you don't have nothing else to do, you can come hang out and hop on. But there'll be live streams all throughout the day. It'll be going from my show to MJ's Comics. He'll be hanging out with Mark Spears on there. You'll have Comics with Izzy. You'll be doing live drawing. DJ will be doing an auction on Friday night with all kinds of cool exclusive stuff with NYCC. Original art, sketch covers, all kinds of cool stuff. And on Saturday, it's a whole list of shows from K-Pop Junkie running overnight, Brian LCS doing his Saturday morning, John's Comics with Kids Saturday morning. We'll be back on this channel with Christina Payne, who spearheaded the Project Heart operation for all the art hearts, which you can go to the Comics Curing Cancer website and bid on them now. But that will wrap up at the end of the hour on that stream. Rob will be doing Only Slabs, the C3 edition, that week as well, as the art auction will be on his channel that night with DJ, myself on there, moving all the donated items of original art covers and all that stuff. Hall Yeah Comics running from 10 to 12, and then our friends over in Australia taking it over overnight before Cliff picks it up the next morning to Bleecker Street, and to finally the final comic and collectible art show. And all of this is ran on donations, whether it be stuff that the individual content creators have bought and donated to have stuff for their stream, or people have mailed in for us to have for those final art shows and auctions. But we're there. We're there. You can go to any of the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, any of the individual people. You can find stuff for Comics Curing Cancer. But if you go to Instagram, which is the primary one I would recommend, if you have Facebook, it's there as well. We make sure that it's on both of them. But you can go to the bio. There's a link in the bio that takes you to the link tree. It'll take you to the whole show layout, All of those shows that I listed to you are already set on YouTube. You can already find them there, turn the notification on, look at the description, see where you can go donate, see the entire list of shows, all that good stuff. Don't get left in the dust. This is a great opportunity to pick up some really cool stuff for probably amazing prices. This is one of those things we're kind of blessed that the amount of support we get via donation still feels like it outnumbers our viewers, which is a good thing because that means we get quality items and they go to fantastic people for great prices. I mean, sometimes you'll see something might be a little doodle somebody drew that goes for a lot of money, and it could be a key comic that goes for a little. You never know is the point. And the only way you will know is if you're there. So make sure you turn those notifications on. Make sure you're there. Let's take it to a next level. We got a goal this year of $55,000. So we're just over 15 right now. So we got a little ways to go, but I'm sure we can do it if we all team up. And the very least, especially starting Friday as the event is going, sharing is caring. You can share all those Comics Curing Cancer posts as they come out, let people know where it's at, share links to streams, all that good stuff. We get some people in there, but let's get to it. Who do we got in here? Las Cruces, hooray to you, good sir. How's it going? Happy Tuesday, Lisa. Good to see you in here. Billy, what's going on, homie? Good to see you. Brian LTS, what's up? What's up? What's up, Brian? I hope all your issues are comics. Most of them, right? Most of them, at least. What's going on, Deadman? Good to see you in here. Space Case Collectibles, how's it to you as well, good sir? Christina Payne, hello, peeps. Pop. Ronnie Johnson, good day. There's those custom emojis. You get access to those by joining the channel membership. If you haven't done that, you should do that. You should hit that join button, subscribe plus, become a channel member. And if you, not forget to mention it from time to time, but if you have joined the channel membership and haven't received a free new member welcome packet, I send those out through the mail to any new member that would like them, like stickers, magnets, a little swag bag of goodies. So just message me on Instagram if you have not gotten one of those. But yep. Marty, what is going on? Happy Tuesday to you. Hello. Brian LCS. What do we got here? The Garden Runner, hello to you. Hope you're doing well today. Good to see you. Austin LeMay, what's up, homie? Hello. Ruby G is in the building. What's up, brother? C3 says, no to the middleman. Go on now, get. Exactly. Joe, how's it going? Scotty, good to see you in here. My icon is from a C3 a couple years ago. Yes, the Austin LeMay Brooklyn Bridge piece. That is. I remember that very well. Austin LeMay is a very sought-after artist, and he'll have there'll be a CGC 9.8 Geiger #1 blank sketch cover that he did. Already shared out that it's going up. One of the art hearts that's already available to be bid on the C3 website is a Spawn piece that he did on there. And if I'm not mistaken, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he might be live on Izzy's Sketchy Show. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I feel like I heard him say that, but I'm feeling less confident than 100% right now. Talked about C3 on my live this past Saturday. Great work you're all doing. Thank you so much, man. Every little bit helps. Every lot of bit helps too. So feel free to do it again. Go for it. The Icon Product Convention. I don't know. A little under the weather right now. Had to cancel getting my yearly flu shot until I feel better. Sorry to hear that. Isn't that ironic? Couldn't get a flu shot because I got the flu. I'm going to try to make Izzy show kind of early in the afternoon here on the West Coast. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I couldn't remember if I heard you say that or not. I know he'll be having some art out there, though. 42-month strong Brother John's Comics. Heck yeah, dude. Appreciate that. I got my eye on that LeMay Geiger for sure this year. Yeah, I have a feeling a couple of people do. Just a hunch. Definitely a hunch. But until we get there, we still have to get through today, Wednesday, and Thursday. Not long to go. Not long to go at all. And to do that, we have to check out what's coming out this week. You know, we're in it at this point. We're in it to win it. New comics this week right there. We've got the DC KO event rocking and rolling now. That issue 1 came out to thunderous applause. It was actually a really, really good issue #1. It got a lot of people curious about it. I've seen a lot of people go back and pick it up. I was in the shop this morning, and a gentleman came in the shop, browsed around, looking around, and came in and picked up issue 1 of DCKO, and that's what he was looking for. That's what he got. That was all he was after, and so it's getting some attention. I have a couple of comments on some posts here recently with people mentioning that they're now interested in the DC stuff happening and went and picked that kind of stuff up. I've been playing the C3 schedule on all my live streams. There you go. Appreciate it. Either way, I'll drive up the price for the cause. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So the DCKO going on, we don't have issue 2 out this week, but there are a couple of notable comics to look at when it comes to the DCKO event. Last week, there's just the one with the Teen Titans. I don't know what issue it is. Doesn't matter. The most recent issue of Teen Titans or whatever they're calling it right now was a DCKO tie-in, and that's where we kind of get a look at what's happening on the surface. We read DCKO. You saw that a certain band of heroes were going to the Earth's core to find the heart of Apocalypse in order to kind of siphon the energy and become the King Omega to be able to be strong enough to fight Darkseid. It's a big task. It's a really big task. But there is stuff on the surface that they're having to deal with. The regular shenanigans, the regular superheroing. The Titans were tasked with doing the regular superhero shenanigans. And that was, that's where Titans picks up. Titans picks up with that, and they get into what they'll be doing during this KO event. And it's actually kind of bigger than I expected it to be. They're evacuating Earth. All of it. Because the stakes of the KO event, and you can't really just, I hope we win, because Earth is at stake. Everything is at stake. And with Darkseid having the whole anti-life effect on everything, they're like, we got to go. We got to go. We got to get out of here. How are we going to get out of here? Let's start evacuating. They do start evacuating. You get a little thing here, a little thing there. Big thing was Granny Goodness pops up at the end, and that was kind of the teaser. So the Granny Goodness and the Furies are popping into the Titan story for them to fight. And there was some stuff in there I was wondering, how do they get these beautiful arc ships? I'm not going to lie to you. I just thumbed through it. I did the Johnny number 5 speed read through it. But you get a lot more context to the whole evacuation Earth thing this week with all of our tie-ins that start touching on it. Again, an example in how continuity is done well. When it's done well, it makes reading everything a little bit more elevated. A little bit more elevated. And Stephen with I see you, and that's a good reminder. Today, we do have the regular giveaway. I forgot to mention this. So I might want to mention this. It's the 4th and final issue of DC, New History of the DC Universe, and this beautiful Jenny Frisson cover of Green Lantern, Far Sector herself, Joe Mullins. Gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Absolutely dug it. Had to be the one, as well as the hottest comic artist in the game, Mark Spears, trading card variant for the Flash issue number 26. So those two are going to a new home. And do you see what's sitting on top of them? Do you see the top of that picture? DCKO blind bags. So inside these things, it's a guaranteed foil variant. These are all $10. Where's that? These are all $10 bags. And inside of them are foil variants of DCKO number 1. But also included in all these blind bags spread out across the cosmos were the ratio variants, 1 in 25s, 1 in 50s, 1 in 100s, 1 in 500s. All the gold foil chase variants are sprinkled through those. So if we hit the Super Chat gold today, we'll add one of the DCKO blind bags. We'll rip it and ship it and add it to there. Figured that would be fun since blind bags are kind of the happening right now. So that's what we're doing today if we hit the Super Chat goal. And we got our first one from Leafy Substances, a.k.a. Steven with a C, a.k.a. A1 from day one. Big shout out. Thank you for the $2 Super Chat. Boom. Boom. Oh, yeah. Somebody got it, right? Somebody, yes. Yes. I love the short circuit reference. Thank you. Sometimes I say things and they're funny to me and they make sense to me, and I never really know how many people will pick up on them, but it's fun when you see people pick up on it. What is going on, Steven, with the sleeves? Hashtag DC for me. It is a beautiful frizzen. Yeah. Jenny Frisson draws a lot of covers. It just, to me, they just look the same as each other. And from time to time, they really stand out. And that Joe Mullins really stood out. Joe Mullins is a really cool character. Green Lanterns in general are awesome. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of cool overlap right here. We're going with a lot of cool overlap with this Jenny Frisson Green Lantern. Where'd it go? We can look at it again. Let's look at it again for Cliff. There it is. And it's hard to see it good on this picture, but her ring pointed right at you, glowing, and you can see like the intricacies of her lantern ring. It's really cool. Super dig that cover. The best book on the shelf. That's a statement, no question mark, so I don't know what to do with it. T or Evtron Ares ties into the previous two movies in the Uprising series. Yeah, that's definitely true. That's 1000% true. Hey, yo, working and lurking. Hope everybody is fantastic today. What is going on? Nick's Kicks and Comics. I saw you just posted a sealed box with a hot toy in it, man. I'm excited to see what you picked up. See what you got in that box. What you got in that box, Nick. Let us know. Are you going to post the video or are you just going to open it and post it? We'll see. Rocking my C3 shirt. Had a bunch of people ask about it. Hope it brings some new people to the auctions. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I meant to be wearing mine, but I sat down and didn't have it on. And I was running a couple minutes behind. So I keep a shirt or two always just sitting here just to put on while streaming. They just come off when I come off streaming. And that's how I ended up with this one. But I wish I was wearing my C3 shirt. I wore it for my Monday video, the C3 video. Jenny is hot here. Art ain't. LOL. There you go. Mark is drinking Turok. Yes, the finest Turok this side of the Mississippi. What is going on, James? Good to see you in here. Hello, hello. Trev, the shipping guru, has entered the chat. Good to see you, brother. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. You might know. You should know. I think you know. It helps a lot. That's what they tell us. They tell us it helps a lot. All right, we're going to jump to the DC KO stuff first, and then we'll backtrack through the other stuff. But let's look at the books coming out this week that are part of the DC KO event. These are your tie-ins for the week, starting with Superman number 31. So Superman just wrapped up that 3-issue story arc, The Legion of Darkseid, where the legion of superheroes from this corrupted alpha world, the Elseworld, Darkseid's world that he manifested at the moment of his, air quotes here, death, or really his ascension. And those little boogers have been terrorizing the DC universe for the past few months. They faced off with Superman. We've had Booster Gold prisoner and beat up and everything. Time Trapper went and got Superboy Prime out of his little world and teamed him up with Superman to go face the Legion of Darkseid because he knew they would be such a threat. Well, it didn't go exactly how anyone planned. Superman, Superboy, the Legion. It was an awesome battle. It had those heroic moments, those page turners, those book dropper moments. They were really, really fun. And then it led us straight to escaping barely with their lives and getting to the point of back at the Watchtower with a realization of the events in front of them, with the whole KO event taking place, knowing or getting the information that Darkseid has placed this almost like impossibly old item called the Heart of Apocalypse at the center of Earth that's corrupting it and drawing in all this Omega energy. And they have to go deal with that. And that's kind of where we end Superman, and it takes us into DC KO. Now we're coming back to it. We're coming back to Superman's standalone title. It says Superman and his allies have been thrown into a dangerous game to capture the Heart of Apocalypse at the center of Earth. I just told y'all that. But what is the Heart of Apocalypse, and how are its origins tied to Krypton? And why doesn't Darkseid's Legion want Superman to find out? So just basing off what it's saying, because again, I don't like to do spoilers. Not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to spoil any stories for you. I'm trying to get you hyped up and let you know what's worth your time and money to go read for yourself. But in the Superman, or was it the Justice League Omega Pack, the official prelude to the DC KO event, we get a little flashback to Krypton with, was it Ursula or Feora? It was one of the versions of the, like, Zod's Kryptonian lady, as well as Kara knocking around, like, the forbidden zone of Krypton, where they find, like, this old science outpost, and they let us know that, like, there's this old tie-in with the Heart of Apocalypse, with Doomsday to old Krypton, and they left us hanging with that. So we're going to pick up some of those elements with this issue. You're going to find out how integral Time Trapper, aka Doomsday, is to the events of KO, to Darkseid, to Krypton's history. And we're going to dive into a little bit of like the hidden history of Krypton, which I really love that stuff. I think that stuff is an absolute blast. So it's going to be getting into a lot of depths, but it's not going to get into the weeds. At no point does this feel long in the tooth. There's no point does this feel slow. Dynamic, bombastic are more the words I would describe it. 4 new DC titles, only 1 number 1, 16 from Marvel, and 5 number 1s. 55 total new comics from DC this month, and only 7 are number 1s, while 90 new comics from Marvel are coming out, and 34 are number 1s. Thank you. Steven with the sleeves, that sounds like that would be a phenomenal video topic. If that's not a video topic of yours, you're really wasting the opportunity on that one. Wayne Deacon, what is up? What's up? We got another $2 super chat. This one from Marty. Big shout out to Marty. Let's see what he says. Who does number 2 work for? That's right, buddy. You show that turd who's boss. It's an Austin Powers reference. That was Tom Arnold was in the bathroom. That was funny. It's completely different than an Infinity Stone. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing comparable. In all sincerity, nothing comparable at all. Yeah, not in the slightest comparable. You know, like the mother boxes are actually living mechanic entities to a degree that we don't even understand, that some people would even consider it magic. The Heart of Apocalypse is a living entity that draws in Omega energy, reshaping and transforming things around it, empowering things with all this negative cosmic energy. But I do want to say, where there's an Omega, there's something else. That's the only hint I'll give you. That sounds like a Prisoner reference, Marty. I'll be back. Terminator. It looks like we're doing movie references today. Oh, we got Joffrey dropping the "We Are Legion." We are. I used to yell that at my dog while he was doing his business. Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, highly recommend the Superman tie-in, especially if you're enjoying DCKO. It does a little bit of retreading, you know, like timeline-wise, where it starts out slightly before DCKO, and a few pages in, we're now into DCKO, and that was cool, because one thing that's really fun about these, especially when your continuity's tight, is watching it all kind of the pieces falling into place. That's super fun. Justice League Unlimited issue number 12 also out this week as one of your DCKO tie-ins. Now this is super fun. You know, a lot of times during these events, you'll get side quests with your tie-in books. You know, like these 3 or 4 issues of the comic that come out while the event's going on will be like these certain characters having to go get a MacGuffin or something like that. This seems like the first shape up of our first kind of side quest thing. And it's going to be picking up and dealing with some previous stuff that happened not long ago inside the pages of Justice League and World's Finest. There's a small little crossover between those 2 titles. It was called We Were Yesterday. We had Gorilla Grodd amped up with some Martian Manhunter telepathy, kind of traverse through time and grab different versions of supervillains that have yet to be beaten by their superhero counterparts, put them together to make the Legion of Doom. It was an at the time undefeated Legion of Doom, cherry picked from a different time era. And doing all this, it messed up and kerfluffled a little bit of the time stream. And when it was all said and done and everything was fixed, a few superheroes were left displaced. And in this case, those superheroes are Peter David's Aquaman, Tim Drake Batman Beyond. That's not Terry McGinnis. Tim Drake Batman Beyond, Superman Blue, and Pops, you're gonna have to help me out in the comment section. The multi-alien thing, come on, man. It popped up briefly. That's the multi-alien thing on the cover. That's not Beast Boy. It's hard to see probably on the screen, but you can see his right side of his face, but his left side of the face is the other thing. What's the multi-alien guy's name? Pop, help me out here. But then he's on the cover. There's a lot more characters than that. You have Hawkman from Hawk World. You actually get an Owl Woman. You know, there's a lot of characters. There's 9 to be exact. 9 displaced heroes. And they're tasked with something fantastic. There it is, Ultra, the multi-alien. So they're tasked with the side quest, side mission. And why they still exist, where they're from, where they're going, is a huge, cool little aspect to the story that kind of makes it a little bit unique. But let's see what they're talking about. As the tournament begins and the transformation of Earth grows more dire, a strange signal is detected at the heart of darkness at the core of the planet. A terrific tech device? Michael Holt must put together an elite Justice League squad of the most powerful time-displaced heroes from We Were Yesterday to unravel the mystery. And this mission is a one-way ticket. Well, there you go. They told you right there. Wasn't going to spoil that for you, but they did. Get ready for the mission to hell and back in this epic tie into the DCKO event. Let me tell you that right there. Yeah, they're literally going to hell. They literally go to hell. Mark, you're an alpha male with very little, very subtle hints. Hey, yo. What is going on, Vogsy? Good to see you in here, homie. But yeah, so they have to traverse to hell on a one-way ticket. It's like a superhero version of the Suicide Squad, guys. A hodgepodge team, if I've ever seen one, in the most creative and exciting way. We get my favorite version of Aquaman with the hook hand. We get the electric blue Superman finally some consistency with an electric blue Superman, because they keep teasing us and never delivering with John Kent Superboy with the electrical powers. But this was a blast. This was fun. This one doesn't feel as needed as the Superman one does in terms of like actual tie-in lore. But where it's going, no one knows. Not yet, at least. I'm sure it'll get there in a big way. But this was a blast. This was a blast. And I'm looking down here at the bottom, and I don't want to click on that little picture because that's a spoiler. What they put in the back of a lot of these books are like little previews for other titles that are coming out. Some of them not coming out this week. And one that they put in there is a DCKO Nightfall. It's a Batman book. And it's kind of a spoiler to what happened with issue 1 with DCKO. Everyone saw what happened. Batman got killed, taken out. But it's kind of like a what happens to him after that kind of thing. But it was pretty exciting what they showed in that preview. I'll spoil it for you. The Dark Detective comes back. The future state Batman. After he dies, this was just in the preview pages in the back of the book, but he has like a boom tube tech that's supposed to trigger him getting in dire straits, and it took him out of there back. Supposed to be back home, but he ended up in the future. He's not sure how far, but it's future state Dark Detective Batman. I thought that was really cool. Flash number 26 out this week is a DCKO tie-in. And guys, I'm excited to inform you. I'm excited to report back. The Flash ongoing title is back on my pull list. Not because it's DCKO, not because it's an event tie-in. The Flash is back on my pull list because, drumroll, Cy Sperrier is gone. Cy Sperrier is done. Wrapped up his tenure on The Flash. He ran for 25 god-awful issues. He started bad, he ended bad, and it was bad everywhere in between, but somehow he was allowed to go for that far. Now, I do want to preface that. Cy Sperrier is not a bad writer. Sometimes writers just don't fit the book. They don't fit the character. And it was one of those unfortunate events where a flagship title at DC, The Flash, who has had a live-action television show in the 90s, who has appeared in cartoons for decades, who had a whole live-action show that ran for 37 CW seasons, who had an entire standalone big-budget theatrical movie, who appeared in multiple other live-action movies. The Flash, one of the most recognizable characters in comic books, a flagship, should be a selling point for the company. Let that book go on and lose sales for 25 issues. Yet Jeremy Adams was on The Flash, bringing in readers. And I know they didn't take him off because of sales or nothing, but we could have had Jeremy Adams for the rest of our lives and we would have been happy. But I'm so happy to report that the bag-carrying, water-carrying, universe-propping genius that is Mark Waid is on The Flash. Mark Waid and Joshua Williamson are carrying so much water for DC right now. And what's cool is they're not writing Batman books. Batman sells himself. There's numerous Batman books out there just chart-topping all the time because Batman sells himself. You got Jeremy Adams over there carrying like 2 separate Green Lantern books, propping up the King of Atlantis with Aquaman, drawing readers to these characters that haven't necessarily always had like these great sales in recent times. But Mark Waid and Joshua Williamson are carrying the DC continuity right now. They're doing most of the work in that aspect. DC is absolutely crushing it. And a lot of it has got to be credited to what Mark Waid has done in the past couple of years with this creative direction and the way he's able to do so many of these stories from Action Comics to World's Finest to his events. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. So I read this. I was in a hurry to read this. I was so hurry to read this. And it was fantastic. Happy to report it was fantastic. The name of this story arc is Impulse Point. It's almost like a play into Flashpoint, but Impulse Point. What do you know? There's Impulse. Bart's there. Max is there. One thing that's cool about Flash in modern years, there's a Flash family. Like there's a Bat family. Like there's Like, there's a Superman family, but you care about a lot of these characters, and they all have to have this unique style to them. They all have to interact in a certain way. That's a lot of work to not only understand the Flash, but understand the individual characters in the Flash family and make them interact and work together that feels like it's supposed to feel. It's easy to misstep with that. Cy Spurrier misstepped from that as soon as he agreed to do this book. He belongs on a Suicide Squad book. He belongs on a Black Label book. Get him on Constantine or something like that. That's kind of more his speed. That's more his style, more his tone. And I love some of his other work. I'm not here to bash Cy Spurrier. I'm here to bash this run on Flash. You can take all the creator names off of it you want. The run was terrible. It was so bad that I dropped it. That's crazy. And not only that, they had Eclipso as the big bad guy in the final story arc, and I still couldn't read it. Still couldn't read it. That's not on me at that point. Like, I'm an easy sell. I'm a DC shill. You know what I mean? At least from, also, I want to make sure everyone know, from here until at least next March, I'm a Disney shill with Tron and Ares. So I'm really out here pushing fandoms. I'm trying to get people to buy these products. I don't make any money off of DC or Marvel or Disney, but I enjoy other people enjoying the things I enjoy. So I have people to talk to about it. I want people to like this stuff. So I have more people that I can nerd out with, and people shouldn't be making that difficult for me to do. It shouldn't be difficult for me to want to talk people into having fun, but that wasn't the case. But now it is the case. Add Flash to your pull list, buy it with confidence. Be excited, support good writers, let DC know that this is what you want. $3.99 price tag for an A cover. There's a Mark Spears cardstock trading card variant. I'm giving one away today, courtesy of ABX Comics and Games, linked in the description. Set up your pull list through them, free shipping on orders over $100. But enjoy the Flash again. That's the important thing. We get to enjoy the Flash. And it ties into DCKO. You don't have to have read the first 25 issues to pick this one up and absolutely know exactly where you are, what's going on, especially if you're keeping up with any of the DC continuity. If you're reading DCKO, all of it feels like you're just hopping on the bicycle. You ain't forgot how to ride it. It doesn't even need training wheels. You're just in motion again. As the chaos around the DC universe erupts during DCKO, Impulse has an idea how to fix it. Impulse Point. A terrible move that could wipe out everything unless the Flash can catch up with him as they race through time. I love this issue. I can't even sell it enough. It just it felt so good to be back in the saddle with the Flash characters. But man, is Bart is going to Bart, and Bart's so hard in this issue. You just want to catch up to him, like, dude, slow down. But he won't. Bart will never slow down, and that's what makes him Bart. Great issue. Huge implications on the event. Huge implications on the characters involved with it. It's good. It's good. Spurrier is mind-numbing. Yes, I'm going to use too many words, and I'm never going to say nothing. Cy Spurrier. 25 painful issues. Yeah. Who Blood Array. Way to go. Dude, he's up there, right? He's up there. He's up there. He's on the list. He's in the short list now, forever and always. Stoked about Wade and Flash again. Exactly right. Williamson taking on Legion of Superheroes. There we go. Well, if you like both of those things you just mentioned, Legion of Superheroes, Flash, you should pick this book up. Because the Legion of Darkseid is technically the Legion of Superheroes, and they're out there right now. What is going on? Loaders in here. Hashtag We Are Legion. Ugh. I've read Spurrier on Constantine. No thanks. Yeah, dude, I was trying to give him some credit, right? That last Constantine series he did, I think it started midway point last year. I picked up issue 1 of it. I'm like, pass. Got me sleeping over here. Was the Flash book a fast read? Yes and no. Yes and no. It feels like it's moving again. You know what I mean? That was something that we talked about with Cy Spurrier's run early on. We're reading this book and it feels like it's moving so slow. Now, it doesn't feel like they're just like running through a book. You're not going to read it in 3 minutes and feel like there's really nothing there. There's meat on the bone. But he knows how to move the characters. It's freaking Mark Waid. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Bart. Yeah, it's like, what is it? In Mars Attacks. Rack. But yeah, I was so happy with this, man. So happy to have it back on there. Bart's going to try to run back in the past, change time, do his own little Flashpoint thing. It's not going to go how any of us think. You can try to predict it. We're going to be off. Some awesome Darkseid moments in there, too. You won't want to miss it. Moving out of the DCKO event and into a whole nother massive thing happening, which is the Absolute Universe at DC Comics absolutely wrecking the top charts with sales, dominating everything DC Comics is, largely in part to the excitement and hype around the successful launch of the Absolute Universe, this alternate world created by Darkseid for Darkseid, featuring all new versions of all your beloved characters. Wonder Woman issue number 13, written by Kelly Thompson. Kelly Thompson, who just won a Ringo Award for Writer of the Year. I'm pretty sure it was a Ringo Award. Might have been an Eisner. It was something. Someone can correct me in the chat. I'm going to have to turn a video on here for a second, as my oldest daughter just tried to call. I'm going to call her back. It's Zoo Day. It's Zoo Day, and right by where she's going to school, and I want to make sure she's not calling to that. So here we go. Check out John Romita Jr.
And you're welcome to come use one of the 8 easels we have set up for creating art here at the show for consideration for our art auctions on Saturday for our major auction at 8 p.m. at the Weston Ballroom. And the smaller auctions we'll have here on the convention floor on Sunday starting at noon.
That's a flash from the past.
So any artist that we have here, either as an exhibitor artist in Artist Alley, or an aspiring artist, if you'd like to come up and create a piece on stage here at the art stage,
just screams my fandom. Like, that was just
please come on by.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much.
Great to meet you. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I just want to shake your hand, man.
Yeah,
I've
this
loved
one
your work
made
for
me.
decades.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys saying those nice words. That
You
means
have
a
no
lot.
idea.
Thank you. All right.
I didn't hit the stop button.
Oh, it's perfect.
How are you, John? Nice to see you.
Hail yes. Hail yes.
Yes, you did.
It'll be a good time.
Oh, I finally finished season 1.
Of what, Peacemaker? Yeah, I'm live on my YouTube channel right now. Everyone's listening to me talk to you. And I'm wearing my Peacemaker shirt while I'm doing it. Oh, that's okay. No, you're fine. You're more important than this. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, what time do you think you'll be there?
Like 7:20.
No, it ain't bad at all. So I have an hour and a half. It's a short event. Yeah, I'll probably just forward you the ticket so you can come in and just meet us in there.
Yeah, that works.
All right, love you. Bye-bye. Boom, shakalaka. My oldest is in college, and she's right near the zoo. So she's going to make it. She's going to make it. But back to it. Award-winning Kelly Thompson with Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 13 is out this week. This has been great. I've been enjoying this a lot. We're into a new story arc with this one. We just got out of the Labyrinth, meeting Ferdinand and more, but let's see where they're going to go from here. Hello again, Vogsy. Good to see you again. Let's see. Wonder Woman, as Diana learns more of the myth of the Amazons from Barbara in Gateway City, aka Cheetah, a series of violent supernatural events begin occurring one after another, drawing Diana all over the globe to fight. Noticing a pattern, Diana enlists Etta to help her crack the mystery of why these events are happening in these places and how to stop them. To answer, too personal to imagine. So I'm wondering which direction they're going to go with this. You know, at the end of the Labyrinth story arc, they did the tease for what's coming next, and we got to see, what's her name? Cliff, are you in here? Cliff, are you in here? Cliff, talking to you if you're in here. What's her name? Something Cole? The lady running the government installation that's monitoring, watching Wonder Woman, that has Dr. Poison at her beck and call. We got the reveal that she has Project S, and she has all these other potential rogues in there, including Cheetah. So it looks like the absolute Cheetah is not going to be Barbara, unless Barbara's going to get infected by this Cheetah. But there's some rogues in there, some potential villains. I'm wondering if it's going to be, thank you, Cliff. He is here. Veronica Kale. So I'm wondering if Veronica is going to be sending out some of her Project S stuff around the globe to tinker, meddle, and interfere with Wonder Woman. I'm wondering if that's what we're going to do, or if they're just going to pull one of them out of the case, dust it off, and let it be the problem. There's some stuff. There's some stuff to figure out. What is going on? Art, good to see you. Project S. Close. Project S. Very close. One letter off. You almost had it. I believe her name was Jeff. My name is Jeff. Yeah, I was close. You almost had it, AR. Almost had it. There's a Jeff the Land Shark book out this week that I actually picked up my first, put it on my pool list stack. My first ever purchase of Jeff the Land Shark. I got a couple of the Tron variants. I left one. One wasn't that good. It was like an Ultimate Spider-Man number 22. It wasn't that great of a cover. But there's a couple cool ones out this week. The Moon Knight one was fantastic. But that Jeff comment reminded me of that. But yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with this next story arc of Absolute Wonder Woman. If you read DC KO, you know that the Absolute Trinity made a teaser appearance at the end of issue number 1. So who knows? Sky's the limit with these characters. It looks like we might be getting our first tie-in crossover with our heroes of our primary Earth realizing and coming across the Absolute characters for the first time. We'll see what happens with that. We also, I mean, they showed us all the different stuff that's happening in KO with all the characters, Sub-Zero, Homelander, the Annabelle doll, Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees, all these other properties outside of DC is crossing over with it. So we'll see. Another new beginning right here with Green Lantern issue number 28 by the always amazing Jeremy Adams. Also want to note that Jeremy Adams, who crushes it on everything he writes, is also going to be doing the upcoming DC Nightfall animated movie. He's writing that for the DC animation department. But we just finished the Starbreaker Supremacy storyline. The power batteries are back. People have their rings again. The classic villains are out of the science cell. It almost was a return to status quo, a much needed return to status quo. John Stewart's presumed dead. We saw as the reader that he is not, wondering who it was that went into that central power battery. If that was the John Stewart, the real one off on the farm with where we saw him first. And what was that? The Philip Kennedy Johnson, John Stewart 12-issue miniseries from like 2 years ago. Like he's right where we saw him in that. So I'm interested to see what's going on with that. But this is a jump on point. This is a good jump on point. If you were curious to jump onto some Green Lantern stuff, get familiar with the character, get some notches on your belt before we get to the television show. This is where you want to start because we just finished up a big story arc. So a new page is discovered in the book of Oa that says only 2 words: Hal Jordan. Upon reading this page, the greatest Green Lantern is thrust into a new mystery with massive ramifications. I like the sound of all that. I like mysteries. I like new things. I like Hal Jordan. All that sounds good. I'm in. Who else is pulling Green Lantern? I'm super curious. Status Quo should be the name of a supervillain headquarters. Dude, that would be a good idea. That's legit a good idea. I like your style, T-Dubs. Was it Tom Brady who stole the rings? Oh, sports reference. Had to drop the title, got bored. Hey, new story arc. Might be a good time to add the title now, Steven, with the sleeves. This might be a good jump on point for you. Test the water. Come on in. The water's fine. New book of Epstein was discovered that says only 2 words, ... Man, that sky's the limit on that one, isn't it? Sky's the limit on that one. Couple of cool Green Lantern covers. Let's see. There's a D Dolly variant. This one caught my attention when I was flipping through them, though. This one's dope. That's wicked. I don't even know who the artist is on that one. It doesn't say at the top, but look at that. Penno. I'm trying to read it there. Impossible to see from here, but let's see if it's listed. Cover C. David Porator. Not familiar with this artist, but man, this is a good-looking book. Good-looking book. There's a lot of new cover artists like popping up out of nowhere here in recent times. Lot of good ones. All right, who's still pulling Green Arrow number 29? I know that they announced that this will be coming to an end here soon. I'm not sure what issue will be the last issue, but Green Lantern discovers the shocking truth of the Crimson Archer's identity and his plans for Star City while Arsenal and Cheshire Cat combat his scheme for the streets. Not sure what's going on with this one whatsoever. Not sure. If Loader is in here, I know he was still pulling it. I don't know how long this is going to go for. I feel like the Green Arrow fans have taken a double gut punch in the last 30 days, right? They announced that the Green Arrow ongoing title is coming to an end. That doesn't mean Green Arrow is going away. Not every character can carry an ongoing title forever. Run, start, run, stop, run, start again. And unfortunately, this one's coming to an end. I've got a few friends that have been enjoying it. But the same exact week that they announced that this is going to be coming to an end, they dropped the Absolute Evil one-shot where we're getting our absolute version of Green Arrow. And in that book, Ollie gets viciously, savagely killed by Hawkman in it. So in the same week, they lose 2 Green Arrows. I'm like, that's brutal. That's brutal. Oh, I appreciate that. Let's see, open a new R&B on image. It opens in the new tab, then hold control and scroll zoom. I'm going to practice that when I'm not live streaming. That way I don't mess it up in the midst of it. Green Arrow is good with Williamson, but I couldn't mess with it when Condon was writing. I was the same way. You know, everyone's mileage may vary. There was just a hard shift in style and tone, and I enjoyed the Williamson run a lot. You had a lot of great guest artists on there as well that I really enjoyed. But the Condon one was just, I don't know, it wasn't bad. It just, I don't know. It just didn't strike my fancy. Green Arrow 31 is the last, unfortunately. There you go. So issue number 31. You still got 2 more issues to go. 3 counting this week's. 3 counting this week's. Now here's a big one for the week. Huge one for the week. The New History of the DC Universe, 4th and final issue. Re-examining everything from, the in continuity, the birth of the DC Universe, all the way through the prehistory of it, through the Golden Age, Silver Age, all the way to modern age. Issue 3, we're in the modern age through the 90s and early 2000s. Now we've gotten into the last of the modern age. This is it. It is Barry Allen the Flash chronicling all the events from the inception of the universe to modern day in a fun, interactive way, in a sense that it's being written from the perspective of Barry Allen, a character who's intricately tied to things like Crisis, Flashpoint, and stuff like that. This reality-altering events and everything. So it kind of puts a fun, in-continuity way of unskewing some skewed history, where a character's origin might have been retold a couple of times and there are discrepancies in it and stuff like that. They give you the hard lining history of all characters and all things. But Barry Allen's documentation of the history of the DC Universe reaches the present day, beginning with the world-changing events of Flashpoint. Heroes face new threats like Perpetua and the Batman Who Laughs, and the next generation of heroes like John Kent, Wallace Weston, and Jackson Hyde begin to emerge from the ashes of crisis-level destructions. All leads to Darkseid's death and a glimpse at what's to come in the future. You won't want to miss this final installment. That's something I didn't take into consideration, them doing a future glance at stuff. But this issue, I was talking about it Sunday night briefly on the At Weeks In live stream. This is going to be wild, where the rest of them just been kind of like doing the whole chronicle of events. This one is just like event after event between Flashpoint, Rebirth, Dark Crisis, Absolute Power, the current KO. Like, there's just tons of events and rattling and stuff. Absolute Evil was just one shot. I do believe so. I do believe that was just an introductory book. Yee! But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Super excited for this one. Hope everybody goes and picks up a cover. And this is one of the ones that's in today's giveaway, the Jenny Frisson variant for Joe Mullen Green Lantern. Some really cool stuff there. What else is on here? Here's one that I skipped completely. Immortal Legend Batman #3. Is anyone pulling this and reading this? I know when it came out, I think it made a thud instead of a splash. I'm not sure how many people really were digging this. It's listed as an Elseworld, and it didn't even like draw me in with that. But Kyle Higgins is writing it, known for his time and work on Power Rangers, and now he's doing Power Ranger version of Batman almost. What's the one question the immortal legend Batman is afraid of? Learn the answer as the hero is drawn to a long-abandoned estate on the distant moon, now occupied by a devious resident named Rita Repulsa, in a tense battle of wits, in which any mistake will have explosive, tragic consequences. Can Batman solve the madman's riddle, or more immortality, or can you? And if not, just activate your Zords. Interesting take on Batman. The design's pretty cool. You get some cool variants. I mean, that looks pretty cool. It looks a little too busy, you know? The suit's doing a little too much, but it's still a cool piece of art right there. Still a cool piece of art. That one looks a little bit cleaner. Looks a little bit cleaner. I don't know. Just ain't doing it for me. Is anybody else pulling or reading that? It makes sense now that Mark Waid is writing Flash now, and he is also the writer of the History of the DC Universe written by Mark Waid. Yeah, definitely. I wanted but reconsidered. Yeah, I know, right? Like, it's one of those things that on the face, like, just at first thought, first hearing of it, you're like, oh, that might be cool. But then you kind of look at it and you're like, yeah, I don't want to give you my money for that. Looking at it, thinking about it more, you're like, I feel like this is just like shredding money right now. 2 people at reading Immortal Legend Batman, so I said 2 people at reading Immortal Legend Batman, so I'll ask them. You know, I'm like Ron Burgundy when it comes to these comments, Cliff. I'm just going to read it how it's written. 2 people at your shop? Maybe, possibly. So I don't typically get into a lot of marveled stuff on here, but no, that's not the one. This is the one. This was pretty cool. I like this Tron Ares variant for Moon Knight. Look at that. That's pretty cool, right? I like the way Moon Knight looked on there. You know, I was looking back at the old covers from when Tron Legacy came out. They did a couple of the Marvel variants for it. I wanted specifically the Hulk one because I got the Hulk one for Tron Ares last week. But I wanted the old Hulk one. When I looked, it's actually Ghost Rider on the cover of Hulk 613, like Tron Legacy'd out, and it's amazing. I'm like, oh man, I want that. It's like a $90 book. Like a $90 book raw. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that for a raw book, modern raw book. Then I got to look into more. All the Tron Legacy variants are all like, the cheapest ones are like 50 something dollars. Might as well call it 60 something after tax and shipping at least. All of them got this crazy secondary market value. I'm like, this is nuts. This is nuts. But they're really cool. They're really cool. I'll eventually have that Hulk one. Go F yourself, San Diego. Exactly. San Diego, a whale's vagina. Guess no one wants a chance of that sweet blind bag. Leafy Substances is coming back in. Let's get this blind bag added. I don't know how many we're up to, but that's more than 2.
You want blood? Go get it!
Big shout out and thank you to Steven with the C. Let me pull this up on YouTube so I can see what it's doing. See what it's doing. That's 4 out of 5 we're up to, it looks like. 4 out of 5. Oh, counting Brian LCS, who dropped the one in here. For the cause. Hell yeah, Brian. Appreciate you. Be sure to tune in to Brian LCS this Saturday for this Comics Curing Cancer edition of Saturday Morning Comics with Brian. Red Nightwing 130 almost made me want to add it back to my pool list. Almost. Yeah, almost there. And that counts for something though, right? What up, Comic Ninjas? What is going on, homie? Good to see you in here. Crypto for the win. You got it, bro. Boom. And a $2 one from Ronnie Johnson. KO. Boom. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. It definitely doesn't hurt. It definitely doesn't hurt. So that means we will be ripping and shipping one of the DC KO blind bags, adding it into the giveaway today. We shall see what's in it. Who knows? Sky is the limit. It could be in there. I try not to get greedy. We're technically never there, Pops. We're going to throw the blind bag in there, but feel free to keep going. Don't let me stop you. Every little bit most certainly helps. But the blind bag has made it. Oh, I do want to throw this in there real fast. I went back and read number 1 of this because I enjoy Predator. I enjoy Aliens. I enjoy the Dark Horse era of them, the novel era through the 90s and early 2000s. I got so many of those books. I used to just, me and Pops would hit all kinds of bookstores and we'd always look for them. We had so much good luck finding them over the years. But I haven't gotten into the Marvel era of it. I've gotten good feedback from the Alien stuff that PKJ wrote, but I think it was Brian. I have comic issues who's in the chat who was telling me about this. And I looked at issue number 1. It was super cool, like legit super cool. Not even going to lie. So I might go back and check that out before it even all wraps up. But it was super fun. Super duper fun. It was wild. And this was the, now I don't like this stupid looking land shark on here, but this was like the only good shot you get of a light cycle in any of the Tron Ares variants. So I picked that up. Because seeing how the secondary market treated those last ones, just Tron stuff, because there is a big Tron fandom out there. And as they slowly get their hands on stuff, it never moves again. It doesn't stay on the secondary market. So I had to grab one of those. Had to grab one of those just in case. I don't want to have to pay a lot for it down the road. Let's see. Any other DC? Man, Space Ghost number 4 is out this week. That's on the pool list. My goodness, Matina is still crushing it with those covers. Yeah, exactly. Best light cycle. And then there's Jeff. That was the thing with the Ultimate Spider-Man 22 variant. It has Spider-Man and Black Widow on it, but like they're all the way up on the front of the cover where you can't see the bike. All you can see like a light trail behind him. I'm like, come on. Come on, man. Hashtag ripping and shipping. Blank, please. Blank, please. Dude, I scored a blank on the Mark Spears blind bag rip. The very first one I pulled. Yeah, dude, I think it's an awful character as well. Can you imagine if we got that same exact Tron Ares cover and a character that didn't look like a 4-year-old's cartoon was sitting in the sidecar? Like if you had like Captain America hunkered in the sidecar with his shield up, you know what I mean? Like drawn seriously, how cool that would look. Like that would be awesome. I know Cap isn't a sidecar guy. Maybe put Bucky there. Put anyone there. Literally anyone else. Except Hulk. He would look funny as well in a sidecar. What's going on, Phil? What's up? What's up? Nope. I have my Flynn Tron action figure from 1980s, and no one is getting it until I die or get raptured. Make sure you leave behind your rapture will list then. Because I know they make wills for if you die, but you might want to leave one for the event of rapture. Because they can't prove death, that no one will get that figure. I was looking at one of those vintage figures the other day with all the pins in it and stuff. They look really cool. Wouldn't put it past DC to do something extra dumb with KO like Crypto versus Jeff. You know they had him in the Batman Deadpool crossover, right? It was 6 of the most wasted pages I've ever seen in my life. No dialogue, no purpose, just took up real estate in a big book that everyone's been excited about for a long time. It is what it is, I guess. Kevin, what is going on? Which films you think going to make money more at the box office in November? Zootopia 2 or Wicked for Good? Oh, man, that's tough, right? That's tough. Zootopia is one of those highly successful animated films. If I'm not mistaken, the first one came out in around 2011 and garnished 100% reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, if I remember, because that was a big deal. That was a huge deal. That's a really popular one. Wicked 2's got its own built-in fan base, but Wicked 1 didn't cross the billion at the box office. It did break video on demand things with over like 100,000 VODs in the first week. I don't know, man. Wicked 2 looks like a blast. The trailer's doing really good, but man, that Zootopia thing is just hard to predict with kids movies, you know, because some of them will have just an unexpected, crazy shelf life. Look what Moana 2 did. Terrible movie, but did amazing at the box office off the strength of the first one alone. So who knows? Who knows? If I was a betting man, I just have to flip a coin, to be honest with you, Kevin. Couldn't call it. You, me, and Comic Vet all despise Jeff. Anyone with sense despises Jeff. WB officially up for sale because Zaslav isn't cool. WB has been taking offers for a while now because Zaslav is awesome. He's also refusing offers left and right. Zaslav has just got WB to a place where they are just dominating at the box office. Their quality is up. You know, Zaslav did that. Zaslav got his quality of Warner Brothers again. So big shout out and thank you to Zaslav. Companies being bought and sold is the nature of companies. But big shout out to Zaslav taking what we had and turning it into what we have now. I appreciate Zaslav. I recently saw a Tron franchise on Disney Plus. They're actually pretty good. Grade C+. Yeah, I love Tron, dude. Absolutely love Tron. Big Tron fan. I thought Ares was absolutely fantastic. It was a good time. It didn't reinvent cinema, but man, it was fun. It'll be a free-for-all. Crypto and Jeff was adorable. Not saying it wasn't. Said it was a waste of real estate. You could have accomplished the same thing with just them having the variant cover, with just them sitting on their counterparts' dog houses looking at each other. That was adorable. You didn't need to waste real estate doing the same thing. Interesting topic point to come in at on Rapture. It's always interesting to talk about the Rapture. Whether you believe in it or not, it's still a wildly interesting book. Check it out. David Zaslav needs to go. Paramount most likely going to buy Warner Brothers if other buyers doesn't come forward. Other buyers can't outbid Paramount. I don't know how much you know about who's the actual. I mean, call it Paramount, call it what you want. Paramount's under new management as of this past month too. The Ellisons, like take the word Paramount out and put the word Ellison there in place. Go look up who that is, and then you'll figure out that if Warner Brothers is going to get bought out, 90%, I bet it's going to be Ellison. Good luck finding somebody, unless Elon wants it. Unless Elon wants it, it's going to Ellison. It's just they got to get the right number. You can't undervalue them. And like from their standpoint, you can't expect them just to like throw this unnecessarily high number out first, right? They gotta try to get it for the best price they can. And Zaslav, as a responsible CEO needs to get it sell it for as high as he can. It's the debt that's attached to Warner Brothers. It's the big problem. People are wanting to buy it and try to get it without some of the debt and stuff, but they're going to have to commit to that really high ungodly number of debt. Mark hates anthropomorphic animals. Maybe. Crypto over Jeff. I'm a King Shark guy. How about that? Don't tell me they did a Crypto and Jeff team up already. No, they just played fetch with each other. They just sat outside the fortress and played catch with a frisbee for 6 pages. No context, no story, no words, no nothing, no point. In a book where you're watching Deadpool fight Batman, Green Arrow team up with Daredevil, you're watching Old Man Logan fight Old Man Batman, you're seeing our first amalgam character in 3 decades. They waste 6 pages on stupid dog and shark playing fetch in the snow with each other. It was crazy. Tron is Oscar worthy, maybe for sound and visual effects for sure. Man, I loved it. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Oh, by the way, I just got a Yori 3.75 action figure to go with my Tron figure. Nice. Still the original one. Have you seen the HasLab thing that they're never going to get off the ground? Netflix teasing B. Adams and Soups. Oh, Black Adam Soup. That's not happening. Netflix ain't buying it. Snyder doesn't. I like the little things that Snyder's dropping. He's got a great fan base, man. I'm part of it, but I don't think this is any kind of cryptic thing that he's coming back to anything. I mean, that's just unreasonable to even go that far. Warner Brothers is going to be Musk Brothers soon. Yeah, you know who Ellison is. I mean, he's not Musk. And I don't think for 1 second that Elon has any desire to own Warner Brothers. But at the same time, I didn't think he'd have any desire to own the largest social media platform. But it wasn't a surprise when he bought it. It was a progression to the point of him getting it. But we'll see. Zack Snyder dropped another cryptic Batfleck picture. I want nothing more than Joe Manganiello to come back as Deathstroke and Ben Affleck to come back as Batman in a standalone solo, just the Batman movie we were promised 10 years ago now. We'll love to see an Elseworld Snyderverse for streaming and Gunverse for theaters. Yeah, King Shark, I need Superboy number 9 to complete that series. Yeah, you need to get number 0 for his first cameo appearance. Wait, Crypto Jeff was a story and not just a variant cover. Yeah, it was a little story in there. How do you really feel about the Crypto Jeff? Are you really anti-Game of Fetch? Dude, y'all know I love animals. I work with animals. I just do not like this Jeff the Land Shark character. I don't get it. I don't know why I don't like the character. I finally will have an issue of his book. I'm going to read it. I'm going to see what's up with this character. I don't play Marvel Rivals, and I know that's where a lot of the love for the character came from and exposure for the character kind of went about. But in that book, I wanted so much stuff that I'm like, how is this a thing? Because this isn't a book that kids need to be buying. The Captain America Wonder Woman story wasn't for kids. The Frank Miller story wasn't for kids. The Deadpool story is not for kids. And then you just put this really, really for kids 7 and under 6-page story in the midst of it. It was just weird. Netflix and AMC reached a deal yesterday for theatrical. Nice. Yeah, I know that Netflix put the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein out in theaters for a limited theatrical run on the 17th. It'll be hitting Netflix on the 28th. That's really cool how a lot of stuff, we saw Star Wars do it with a couple of episodes. We've seen The Chosen do it with that TV show where they've taken a couple of their TV shows, a couple of episodes, and release them in theaters before releasing on video, just kind of test running the market for that. They're still trying to figure out this whole maximizing profits in this era of streaming stuff. There was never a Yori figure in the 80s. She's a girl, and girls have cooties. It's a reaction figure. There you go. Releases. I don't like that Paramount is trying to get a bid on Warner Brothers. Yeah, and it's bigger than that. It's definitely bigger than that. It's the Ellisons. But I don't want to see either Paramount or Warner Brothers go away as a standalone company. You know, when Amazon bought MGM, you still have MGM original stuff. You still see that lion roar at the beginning of certain movies. When Disney bought 20th Century Fox, because the way they weren't able to buy it all outright, they still got 20th Century Fox Studios, but now they just call it 20th Century Studios because they couldn't use the Fox name because they weren't able to buy Fox News and all these other things with it because of antitrust laws. But if they do get it, I would still hope and I would assume that you would still see 2 separate studios independently doing projects. Or just we tend to forget how big these corporations go, how high up the top of the umbrella is. When you're at the bottom of the umbrella with all these things here and you follow it up, and as it consolidates, there's only a couple of these massive major corporations, Viacom, Comcast, and even stuff bigger than that. But do you think James Gunn will go back to the MCU if David Ellison takes over Warner Brothers? I think that'd be up to Ellison. Like, I don't see him leaving the DCU unless he's told to leave the DCU. I think he's having a blast. And I definitely don't see the Ellison sending him off anywhere. I totally have Superboy 0 in need. 9, 96, and 99. There you go. Those Marvel Rivals related comics sometimes have codes for in-game items inside. Can give away those too. Nice. Interested to see how the contract works with the new owners. Are they void or not? We need a Jeff Redband series. That would be nuts, right? That'd be cool. King Shrunk. I don't care who buys or owns WB or any other studio as long as they treat our beloved IPs with respect. That's why Disney can't ever own WB. Yeah, I agree. I don't care who the owner is. Doesn't matter. Doesn't change at Hill of Beans. We've seen that over the past decade as being a Warner Brothers fan. I'm a Six Flags guy. I'm a Looney Tunes guy. I'm a DC guy. I'm a Warner Brothers guy. And seeing how that went through all the different ownership, AT&T and all this weird stuff, you know, it really didn't matter who owned it. It was who was in charge of the little divisions that you care about. The Walter Hamada era for film was rough. The Dan DiDio era for DC was rough. And when they have to change hands and change leadership, there's always these shake-up periods where things just get a little disheveled, where things are not as crisp, as tight. So what I want more than anything is just consistency. I want someone to get it who can hold it for a good while, you know. Why can't we just go back to Ted Turner owning everything? Those were the days. I've been enjoying the art on the Space Ghost covers. Yeah, that Matina cover is nice. I've gotten all the Matina covers that I could for Space Ghost, Herculoids, Space Quest when they did that mini series, as well as the what was the other one? Blue Falcon. The B covers are all Matina covers. But I'm digging all the Hanna-Barbera stuff. I didn't realize it, but the Herculoids is only going to 10 or 12 issues. The next issue is the final issue. That's sad. It's been fun. But I think that's it for most of DC covers. Oh, the brand new Terminator series out this week. I did pick up one of these. I picked up a foil version of one of these. As y'all know, I do the Legion Loot, the channel member giveaway for the Legionnaires. If you're in the Legion tier, the first Sunday of every month, I put your name on a wheel and do a massive giveaway to one lucky channel member. And I've been curating the Supergirl giveaway for a long time. I've got like Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow #1, the first appearance of Lobo, all kinds of stuff, the reprint for Crypto, the DC Finest for Supergirl. So I have a foil first appearance of Supergirl to go in there as well. When that movie finally comes out, we'll do that giveaway. But you got to plan for these things ahead of time so that by the time you get to your giveaway, it's massive. Worth hundreds of dollars, massive giveaway that you never really came out of pocket for. Technically you did, but it's over a long enough period of time that it didn't hurt you. Good stuff there. But yeah, let's figure out what's the hashtag for today. Y'all tell me what the hashtag is going to be. And we'll spin this thing, rip this pack, and we'll make like a baby and head out. It's Zoo Night, people. It is Zoo Night. 42 months of loot eligibility, baby. Yeah, you've won one or two, haven't you, Brother John? I know you've won a ton of giveaways, but I can't ever separate if it was between the Legion loot or if it was done just all on Paul's channel. Thank you, T-Dubs. We're going with the full type out though. Type the whole thing out. You gotta do the whole thing. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. Comics Curing Cancer. I actually have the Supergirl in a CGC 981 ounce silver foil. Oh, that's awesome. I've got the Action Comics #1 silver foil. I collect all the Action Comic reprints. And I considered that one as like one of the prize ones in my collection. Yes, sir. Comics Curing Cancer. Let's get it in there. And while that comes up, let's see if I can make this smaller. Where's the one I lack? Where's the one I lack? I like that one. While that's coming up, these are the books that you can win. It's the new History of the DC Universe, issue #4, Jenny Frisson of Joe Mullen's Green Lantern, as well as the Mark Spears The Flash, brand new run. Mark Waid writing, Mark Spears doing the cover art. Mark on Mark, it's not a crime. But yeah, both of those plus we'll spin this giveaway and then we'll open this blind bag and see if they won $1 million. I was talking to Pops about it. He's like, yo, you could hit one of those 1 in 1,000s, one of those massive books. I'm like, yeah, it'll be cool if they do. It'll be cool if they do. Let's see what we got here. All right. I need to take a Zyrtec before I go to the zoo. Do you think Predator Badland will make more than Alien Romulus at the box office? No, I do not. Romulus didn't. So people like studios are having to find second life with stuff. Theatrical having, what is it called? Expecting your movie to make all your money and profit back at the theater is not a reality, not since COVID. And it's been years now. So Romulus did over 300. Romulus cost more than 300 to make, market, and all that stuff. So they didn't hit profit. If all's Alien Romulus ever did was a theatrical run, they would have called that a huge loss. But it did physical media sales, it does streaming stuff, it does social media content that they're all monetized on. So Romulus, I think, was a successful project for them, so much so, that they were confident with rolling and keeping going with the Alien TV show, which we still haven't seen an announcement for a second season, but that TV show sucked. Predator's a little different. They took a different route with that. They had their first installment as Prey as a straight to streaming thing, and it was amazing. Badlands looks interesting, but I don't think I see a lot of people getting up and going out to see it. So theater wise, I think it'll be close. I think it could go either way. I think as a franchise, Alien is a bigger draw than Predator as a generic franchise to the common person. But I don't know. You can do it. I believe in you. What do you think, Kevin? What do you think? Which one do you think will end up with a higher box office count, Predator Badlands or Alien Romulus? I know that they're marketing Badlands for 3D. Those 3D price tickets are a little bit more expensive and can help a little bit with the draw. I think it'll be comparable, but Badlands, is it rated R? If they got it down to a PG-13 rating, that would have been smart. Because if it's just alien violence, you can get away with the PG-13 thing. I know that there are some humans that pop up eventually, but as long as you can keep a lot of F words out of it and stick to alien gore, you might be able to squeeze a PG-13 rating out of it, get a lot more mileage out of it. I think that'd have been a smart way for them to go with that. Get that PG-13 rating. Yeah, do that. Do all those things. James is telling y'all, do those things. Hit it. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Join the membership. Join the Legion. I'll be seeing Badlands next Wednesday. There you go. Absolute Superman is still amazing. Yes, it is. Yo, War is coming to Smallville. War is coming to Smallville. Yeah, he's about to run into a crap show. I've never stepped in a movie theater for years. Oh, that breaks my heart, man. That breaks my heart. I'm not knocking anybody, but I would hate to be a person that wasn't just absolutely excited for cinema, that didn't look forward to and work for and figure out logistics for ways to make it to the big screen. To watch something and be so excited about it, I want to talk about it and share it with people and immediately make plans to go back and see it with even more people. I walk out of it that time, I'm still so excited, Cloud Nine, that I look for ways just to drag out that feeling that I'm having of enjoying this new project or property so much that I want to buy t-shirts. After my second viewing of Tron, I walked out and bought the t-shirt, and started looking for merch and got the Disney Parks disc and everything. Like I couldn't imagine being someone that goes and sees a superhero movie and doesn't want the figures to look at and commemorate. I would just hate that. I would hate that. I enjoy this stuff so much. I enjoy the fandom of things so much. Talking about them, hyping them up, all that. I prefer Predator movies over Alien movies. Yeah, I think a lot of people do, but I think generally, Alien is a more notable franchise for the norms. No idea. Dr. Calico. If anyone knows who Dr. Calico is, drop it. Is that the furriest cat? I miss the good old days when you can spend the day at the movie theater and sneak in and watch 2 or 3 movies. These days, you probably could just as easy. I don't think they give 2 craps. I love going to the theater. It still feels similar in so many ways, but a lot of ways it's different. The box office that you used to walk up to and get your ticket, you would go there and you look at all the posters and see the show times under them, and you go get your ticket and you go in. Now that box office, there's no one that sits in it. You just go in and they scan your phone for your ticket, or you just go to the concession stand and buy your ticket from the concession stand. It's wild. Bayverse over Tron Ares. Ooh. I would not. No, if you're taking just franchises, Transformers franchise or Tron franchise, I don't know, man. That'd be tough. You know, I love my movie universes. You know, I love my movie verses. God, that's tough. There's some high highs in the Transformer stuff, and there's some like peak highs in Legacy and some high highs in Ares too. I don't know. I got to the movies by myself now. I got tired of waiting for my wife and kids to want to see anything. Dude, that's fair too. You know, when I went to go see Ares Friday before last, I planned on going a Friday morning. My live stream was going. I was dipping out. Met my oldest daughter there while she was on her fall break from college, and my wife had to work. No, the wife went with the kids to the park and stuff. But I planned on going to see it while the kids were in school and the wife was at work because I didn't want to wait and miss it or anything. But yeah. Chris Hanley likes Predator movies more too. Oh, yeah, Chris Hansen, yeah. Just kidding. I don't know what I'm saying. Dude, go see Ares. You got till Thursday, and that's the last day of it in IMAX. I was looking at the show times to try to see if I can squeeze out another IMAX 3D showing before it's gone. I don't think I'll be able to, though, unfortunately. I would have had to do it today at like 12:40. That wasn't possible. Was it possible? Concession stand and tickets are how you buy them at my AMC theater unless you buy online. Yeah, same. Same Z's. Our theater shut down and never reopened thanks to COVID. Last movie I saw was a few years later. To see that movie, Sound of Freedom, I think it was called. Yeah, that was a powerful movie. Saw that. I've got the steelbook for that. Support Angel Studios regularly. Yeah, good on Angel Studios for getting that out there. Dude, spin it before Joe's keyboard catches fire. All right. I've seen a lot of movies by myself. Yeah. Joe, that's enough. You're in the giveaway, Joe. You're good. Since Dad is back home in Michigan, we go out to the movies more now. There you go. All right. Y'all know how it works. Free shipping worldwide if you're a channel member. Free shipping in the U.S. if you're not a channel member. If you're not a channel member and you're outside of the U.S., I'll give you a $10 shipping credit. You can pay the difference if you so choose to. Otherwise, you can prize tag somebody in the chat, but you have to prize tag somebody in the live chat immediately. Otherwise, I'll go back and pick somebody because it has to be somebody that was here. All right, we're going to spin this first or open this first. Spin it first or open it first. What are we doing? Spin it or open it first? Someone tell me now. Spin it first or open it first. What are we doing? Spin it. Lisa says open it. All right. E-Man says spin. So that's what we'll do. We'll do both. We're going to open it, then we're going to spin it, and then we'll see what's in it. We'll make everyone happy. Who says you can't make everyone happy? So it's now open. Get the blank. I don't think there was a blank for this. Guaranteed to be foil. Steven with the sleeves is our winner. Let's go. Steve, I hope you hit gold, man. I hope you get a 1 in 1 billion ratio variant here. Let's see. All right, I see blue foil on the back. Oh, dude, what are the odds? Bro? The Mark Spears foil dark side variant. Look at that. And that goes hand in hand, dude. Hand in hand with the other books you just won with the brand new issue of Flash Mark Spears trading card variant. So you scored 2 trading card variants today, one with the foil. My dude, that is amazing. That is super cool. Big congrats to Steven with the sleeves. Everyone give Steven with the sleeves a big heck yeah. Now, good news, guys. There's more blind bags. I got another DC KO blind bag. I got another Batman blind bag. We'll do this again next Tuesday. Yeah, a lot better than a blank, right? Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Super cool. Got you bagged up, Steve. I'll try to get it passed over to Pops. You know the routine, Steve. Pops will shoot you a DM with the tracking number. I'm going to try to get that out before Friday when Comics Curing Cancer kicks off. But big congrats to Steven with the sleeves. The repeating working. You're getting fingerprints on that blue cover, Mark. Yeah, it's up to Steve to clean the cover, not me. I'm giving it away. For free. So Steve can figure out the rest, right? He'll be able to pull that off. I believe in him. Let's see. Congrats, Steve. There we go. Get some love for Steve in there. That's going to do it. It never did, Joe. Yeah, the multiple thing has never once worked. Never once has spamming the chat worked. Burke fan, baby. But yeah, whatever makes you happy. You want to spam the chat, spam the chat. Just know that that's not how it works on the StreamYard, and it catches the one time. That's it. It's not a mystery on how it works, unfortunately. I wish there was a hack to it. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? If there was a backdoor hack to winning all the giveaways. But then that would also have a level of like dishonesty to it, right? No, that was hilarious. That was the universe really smacking back. But it wasn't the spamming that did it, though. Let's be honest. It was just you just got lucky, and that was hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Make sure that you go ahead and check out the live shows that I have lined up. Bookmark them. There's 2 of them for Comics Curing Cancer already. And if you look in the description of them, you'll see the links to all the other live shows. I think there's a discrepancy with the link that Izzy gave us that's in there. But you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Comics Curing Cancer is going to be awesome. There's so much cool stuff going on. I have 10 mystery boxes with all kinds of cool stuff in them. If you're a fan of Batman and the Joker, Michael Keaton signed Batman card, Jack Nicholson signed Joker card with certificates of authenticity. Those will be part of the Friday show. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. If I'm going to put them in a mystery box as chase items, if I'm just going to auction them off, but there'll be 10 mystery boxes. Those cards, all kinds of stuff happening. But the wife's calling now. Got stuff to do. Get ready to go to the zoo. That's going to do it for today. I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
All that ends right